Monday, backed by President Biden, California Senator Dianne Feinstein reintroduced a bill banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, saying in a statement, "It's time we stand up to the gun lobby and remove these weapons of war from our streets."
And yesterday, my buddy Dianne Feinstein introduced her Senate assault weapons ban. I am asking you all to send that to my desk as quickly as you can.
What they can to pass an assault weapons ban, recently reintroduced by Senator Dianne Feinstein so he can sign it into law. Here's that statement from Feinstein that released this statement saying, quote, "I refuse to let this become the new normal, from universal background checks to banning dangerous assault weapons and high-capacity magazines." Democrats have put forward reasonable, common-sense proposal that Americans broadly support and would save lives if Congress could only find the will to stand up to the gun lobby.
Told you it wouldn't take him that long. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gunman. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And just on a side note, if you like my content and want to support my channel, there's a link for the Patreon in the description box below. It's all greatly appreciated. I like doing this stuff. I like putting this information out there. And with all the voices against our gun right, against the Constitution in general, I think it's good to have people who are speaking for it. So, and let's talk about this. If you remember the event in Monterey Park, California, the Luna Festival, 11 people actually, as of this date, were killed and 9 injured. And in the tradition of what Rahm Emanuel, never let a tragedy go to waste. And they're not wasting any time on this one. Now, there are a number of charlatans and exploiters who are pushing for certain aspects of gun control, but we'll stick with our favorites. And Dianne Feinstein has brought forward an assault weapons ban bill. This is after the Monterey Park shooting. Senator Dianne Feinstein seeks to ban military-style assault weapons, and here we go again. Okay, in the wake of the mass shooting in Monterey Park that claimed the lives of at least 11 people, Senator Dianne Feinstein introduced legislation to ban military-style weapons, assault weapons, and high-capacity magazines or ammunition-feeding devices. Officials said the gunman, who fired 42 times at a dance hall on Saturday night, January 21st, was carrying a modified 9mm semi-automatic weapon. It was a MAC-10. I don't know what they mean by modified. From the images that I have, and hopefully I can find it again and bring it up, it's a MAC-10. It looks like he had what looks like some kind of a silencer on it that allowed him to hold it up front, and a magazine that was over 10 rounds. Now, I said before, and I'll say again, the Californians helped me out. The weapon that he used, the weapon, the suppressor, and the magazine are all illegal in California. But these people think that the answer, well, we know. This isn't about nobody's safety, but I'm getting into that. The legislation, which is joined by Democrat Senators Blumenthal and Chris Murphy, Connecticut's finest. This is the best we could do. This is the best the state of Connecticut could do, was these two. Just unbelievable. Would include the gun used by the shooter. Feinstein's office said in a news release on Monday the MAC-10 was on the assault weapons ban, along with a number of others. But, quote, "We are tragically reminded this weekend of the deadly nature of assault weapons when a shooter used one to kill 11 people and injured 9 more at a Lunar New Year celebration in California," Feinstein said in a statement. "The constant stream of mass shootings have one common thread. They almost all involve assault weapons, and that is a lie. That is an absolute lie. The mass majority of these mass shootings are done with handguns. That is a lie. Period. It's because these weapons were designed to kill as many people as quickly as possible. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit, because if you remember, the sheriff out there in LA County literally coined a new phrase by saying it wasn't an assault rifle, it was an assault pistol. Now she is kind of combining that into assault weapon. Do you not see the language and how they're playing it here? This is exactly what they're trying to do. Any mass shooting is now an assault weapon, regardless of the actual firearm that is used, because that's how they're getting around things. It wasn't an assault rifle, because if it was an assault rifle, that's all you would hear. No, everything is now an assault weapon. So every time something like this happens, no matter what the firearm, it could be a revolver, it's an assault weapon. That's the game that they're playing here. They have no business in our communities or school. It's time we stand up to the gun lobby and remove these weapons of war from our streets. The AR-15 has never been used in any combat, in any theater, anywhere in the world. Once again, this is just a talking point that they send out an email to everybody to get them to all on the same page. Weapons of war. What war they used in? I didn't say they were using any war. This is the game they're playing. Or at the very least, keep them out of the hands of young people, Feinstein said. Blumenthal said, oh, this Danang Dick here. As used by the Lunar New Year shooters only days ago in Monterey Park, assault weapons have only one practical purpose: to kill or injure human beings. Now is the time to honor gun violence victims and survivors with this common sense action. Yeah, screw you if you were killed any other way. If you were stabbed to death, run over by an SUV, caught in a bomb blast, stabbed to death in your campus home. We had out in Idaho. Screw you. We don't care about you. We just want to use the people who can get our political advantage and agenda across. We don't care if you're killed any other way. Do you see how disgusting these people are? Yeah, it's all about gun violence survivors. Really? Are those the only people that count now? Well, pretty much Biden let us know that by not going to Waukesha, Wisconsin, but going to Uvalde and Buffalo. See the game. See the game that they're playing here. This is disgraceful. Your life only matters if you're shot, and if you're shot en masse with a whole group of other people by a very specific weapon. That's when they come out the woodwork to talk about your life. Other than that, they don't give a damn about you. The trio of senators also introduced a bill to raise the minimum age person in an assault weapon designed to fire multiple rounds in quickly from 18 to 21. Well, what does that mean? An assault weapon designed to fire multiple rounds in quickly. I'm just assuming that there's a little editing problem here, but most guns can shoot rounds rapidly if you know how to use it. The legislation specifically targets certain shotguns and certain rifles, including AK and AR style rifles. It bans the sale, manufacture, or transfer of certain firearms while letting owners keep existing weapons, and includes exemptions for specific guns for recreation use or household defense. It would also require those who already own assault weapons to be stored in a secure place. Once again, I don't need the government to tell me common sense things, or the whole, I don't want them in my life like that. That's not their job. President Joe Biden, in a statement Monday evening, urged both chambers of Congress to pass the legislation because old Biden there has got to get his little exploitative deal out of this. He's got to get in on the action here. Quote, the majority of American people agree with this common sense action. No, we don't. Who is majority of the American people? Who is that? He just says it, but nobody says, well, where did you get that information from? Which is, the majority don't agree with this. Okay, he's full of crap. Biden said, there can be no greater responsibility than to do all we can to ensure the safety of our children, our communities, and our nation. Congressman Dave Cicilline, Democrat, Rhode Island, oh, good Lord, introduced a companion version of the assault weapons ban in the House, according to press release. Quote, we need to come together to enact this common sense, effective, and proven policy to reduce gun violence and save lives, Cicilline said. In Sacramento, legislators on both sides of the aisle are calling for greater gun violence prevention. Efforts, many said, were amplified after the mass shooting over the weekend, the worst in the nation since Uvalde, Texas massacre. But it's not the worst massacre we've ever had. It's, once again, I use this word a lot, gaslighting garbage. That's all this is. Okay? You want to make children safe in schools? Put armed guards in schools. That's how you make them safe. You don't make people safe by saying, we're going to ban something. Okay? It's not going to work. And it's funny, because here's what's going to happen. We have a Republican-controlled House. Very narrow margin, but it is Republican-controlled. They're going to bring all these in, and for the most part, they're going to fail. And then they're going to run to the media and get on the legacy media and sit there and say, Republicans don't care about your safety. They don't care about children's lives. That's what Democrats are going to do. Just keep in mind that the Democrats voted against basically an after-abortion bill. What the bill will do is basically, if an abortion fails and the child is born, you must do everything within your power to save that child. They all voted against it. This is the people claiming to be caring about children. They voted against the bill to protect the life of a born child who basically was the result of an botched abortion. I mean, the abortion didn't work, child is born. Usually, they actually didn't have any legal reason that they had to keep the child alive. Now they're trying to give them a legal reason, and the Democrats voted against it. They'd much rather see that child die on a cold metal plate. But then they tell us that we need gun control to save our children. These are some strange ass people. There's no doubt in my mind about that. They are bizarre in their reasoning. But as I said, more than likely a lot of this won't go through, and then it's just going to become a political football for the Democrats to say that the Republicans don't care about children. That's what they're going to do. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.